In this post-Belanjawan 2026 discussion, we take a closer look at how the government plans to strengthen revenue through better governance and enforcement rather than introducing new taxes, and whether this approach is sustainable in the long run. Havinder Singh, Council Member of the Chartered Tax Institute of Malaysia CTIM, joined us on the line to share his insight on Malaysia's tax reform priorities and how to build a system that is fair, simple and growth-friendly. I want to say thank you very much, Havinder, for joining me. Definitely talking about post-Belanjawan 2026, from a tax dimension, the government plans to boost revenue through better governance and enforcement rather than the new taxes. Is this a sustainable approach in the long term, or what's your thought on this?
Hi, Nina. Thank you so much for inviting me to share my thoughts. And I think at this juncture, at this stage, we've seen so many new taxes and the introduction of invoicing coming in over the last couple of years, and these new taxes and the implementation of them obviously causes some level or some measure of disruption and disturbances to taxpayers and to the businesses as well. So at this juncture, it is not obviously a good idea to look at introducing any additional taxes. What is required is some measure, some sort of stability and some consolidation. And the low-hanging fruits as far as taxation is concerned have already been introduced. So it's about enforcement, about ensuring that there is proper fiscal spending as well. And in terms of the way going forward, at some point in time, of course, when you talk about increasing of efficiency, administrative efficiency, etc., this tends to plateau or tends to sort of flatten after a number of years. So in the long run, Malaysia will certainly need to broaden its tax base, and possibly through some consumption and environmental taxes, which may be the way to go forward in future. To ensure revenue resilience. So at this point in time, I think it's an opportune time to look at consolidating, to look at reaping the benefits of all the the taxes that have been implemented. Invoicing has been rolled out. A lot of backlash has been received by the government in the past, but I think people are beginning to see the benefits of invoicing. So I think the benefits of this should start coming in terms of higher tax collections in the coming years, starting from 2026.
And also the government continues with targeted subsidies instead of blanket assistance. How does this align with the broader goal of fairness and efficiency in the fiscal management?
I think that's the whole idea, to basically look at fiscal fairness and efficiency as well. Certainly by channeling support to low-income households and productive sectors, the government can contain spending while improving equity as well. But of course, implementation is to be transparent and data-driven to build and to maintain public trust. And I think over time, Malaysia should also integrate targeted subsidies with a more progressive framework to balance redistribution and growth. As it is, the current overall subsidy rationalization is supposed to, give rise to about 15.5 billion of savings, as mentioned by the Prime Minister during the budget speech as well, which is a huge amount of savings that can be used to enhance social welfare, to increase allocation, to ease the cost of living for the people that really need it, and investing in better infrastructure that benefits Malaysia, and of course channel the funds to riot-based focused initiatives and projects. And I think going forward, there would be probably the scope of the rationalization that can be done can be quite wide. And I'm saying it because invoicing, once fully implemented, it would basically have the details of all taxpayers. I mean, above the age of 18, everybody is supposed to have a tin. So even if you go to the Kedai chain and you want to buy the cooking oil, which there's some sort of subsidy there as well, it can be targeted based on the profile of the taxpayer, and these details would be there in the invoicing system. So I think there is avenue with all the digitalization that has taken place, invoicing that has been put in, there's avenue for better rollout of this subsidy regionalization programs as well.
And the budget outlined allocations for STR Bantuan Cash Aid, civil servant support, and adjustment for inflation pressure. What's your thought on this support?
Well, I think, of course, the continuation of the Sumbangan Tunai Rama and cost of living aids, it shows the sensitivity of the government to household struggles, and for many low to middle income families, these direct transfers provide some short-term relief amidst the rising prices and subsidy rationalization. The support for civil servants, including adjustments and allowances, helps to sustain morale and also at least maintain, if not improve, the purchasing power. But having said that, I think such aids should and will only remain temporary cushioning tools, right? They're not substitutes for long-term reforms in wage policies, productivity, and affordable essentials. I think one thing that perhaps could have been added in the budget would be things like maybe a comprehensive cost of living roadmap that is linked to wage growth. So while Budget 2026 handles fiscal consolidation well, I think it lacks a clear long-term plan to align wages with inflation and productivity. So some sort of a structured approach, including wage subsidies for key sectors, right? And then giving some sort of incentives to employers that are playing their part in providing fair, fair pay and fair wages to the employees. This would ensure that nations can keep up with rising costs sustainably, not just through aid.
And there was also no mention on GST in this budget, we can say that. But many experts argue Malaysia needs a broader consumption tax to sustain revenue. What's your professional view? Is it the right time to introduce it, and under what conditions?
Well, I think the GST question is always there. And, I would call it a $20 billion question, because I think, if I'm mistaken, that's the kind of shortfall that we currently have without the introduction of, without having GST in place. But so it remains the most efficient tool for broad-based revenue generation. And it may be, sensitive for a number of reasons, but a well-designed GST with maybe a lower initial rate and a strong targeted compensation for low-income groups could actually balance the fiscal needs of the government with social fairness as well. And maybe this is not the opportune time, maybe it's not the right time, but it could be something that we looked at once invoicing has been rolled out fully, and maybe there is inflation stability and public readiness as well. And as far as invoicing is concerned, I understand and I know that the invoicing system, or the invoicing itself, was originally designed to also accommodate for GST if there's a need for that. But I think if you go back again, and I've mentioned this a few times in my other discussions as well, when the budget was announced last year, prior to that, there was a statement by the Prime Minister that GST will probably be put on hold until the minimum wage levels rise to, about 4K or 3,500 to 4,000 ringgit. But that's going to be a long time down the road now. But maybe there's a need for them to review this on a continuous basis and look at public readiness, look at disseminating information and knowledge to the public out there, to the right channels, that it's perhaps something that is needed by the country, and it's not, as bad as it might have been pictured to be. So maybe it's something that is surely there in the pipeline, but it's a question of time.
Okay. Balance of 2 minutes, maybe Havinder share with us, as Malaysia moves toward a low-carbon economy, how ready is our tax system to integrate carbon taxes or green initiative without burdening industries?
Well, the carbon tax, moving into carbon tax is a bit of a shift, right, from the policy perspective. Never really had anything along those lines in the past. So our tax system is gradually aligning with sustainability goals, but readiness for carbon tax is really still in its infancy. Most people don't even know what it entails. So at the moment, the phased approach, starting with voluntary carbon markets, emissions reporting, targeted green incentives is prudent. And the fact that it's being also rolled out in phases with the iron and steel energy sectors initially, I think that's a good move. So initially, a modest carbon tax can be introduced without shocking industries. And of course, coordination between the fiscal and environmental agencies will be quite key as well.
Okay.
And many export-oriented industries, if I may just add, especially energy-intensive and the E&E sectors, they can be quite price-sensitive. And a carbon tax may actually erode global competitiveness if the peers do not match it or if there are no border adjustments. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done to make it work.
To make it also remains fair, simple, and also growth-friendly in the future, I want to say thank you very much, Harvinder Singh, for helping us understand post-Belanjawan 2026 from the tax reform dimension. Hopefully, we can talk in the future, and definitely all of our future discussion here will be uploaded within astro.com and across all over social media platform. All right.